Okay, so this is my fabric that I purchased from Walmart, and I already measured my window before I went, and I knew that 2 yards would do the window. So I had her cut 2 pieces that were 2 yards each because I wanted to have a fuller curtain. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unfold this. And this has a printed pattern, so we got to make sure that the animals are going to be up when we do this. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is find the center of the panel. Most of the time it's folded to where it's pretty much center. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep that place in between 2 fingers, and we're going to open up the fabric. Now again, you want the good side of the fabric that you're going to want to be showing face down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and I'm going to fold over about 1 inch to 2 inches here. And you're going to want to have some of these large safety pins. And you're going to want to put one in the middle. You're going to want to do it just like that. Okay? So that whenever it's on the other side, all you see is that right there. And we're going to cover that up with some decoration so it's not going to matter. So I already know that I have got a total of 7 safety pins per fabric. So I need to do 3 on each side of my center one. So we're going to space it out a little bit. I'll put one here. Again, this is just eyeballing it. So we got that one in. We want to make sure that we have got one of the pins right near the edge, because if not, it's going to hang funny once we put it on the curtain rod. Okay. So I know I got to put one here and one here. Nope, I told you wrong. I got to put one here, because we got to have a total of 3 on either side of the center. That's just the amount of safety pins that I had. If you've got more safety pins, like if you bought a whole pack, you wouldn't have to space them out like this. But so here's my center pin, and then I done 3 more, 1 on the other edge, and then 2 in the center. So now I'm going to slide my fabric over, and I'm going to repeat the same thing that I did on this side. So here's my center pin. I'm going to want to go ahead and put one of the pins here. And then I'm going to put one here and one here. Again, you want to make sure that when the safety pin closes, it's not on the good side that you want to see out, but it's on the back side of the fabric. And again, we're going to be covering that up so you won't even see the pin on the other side. Now what we're going to do is take our curtain rod. And it doesn't matter what type of curtain rod you have, this will work for any of them. And a lot of times with fabrics, not all of them, but some of them have this selvage edge where it's got something like this printed. You're going to want to make sure that that is on the outside of the window. So if you put your other curtain on where this is going to be in the center once it's open, that's not going to look right. So we can't hide it that way. So make sure that this is going to be on the outside of your window. And I'll show you that a little bit better here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other side. If you already get what I'm saying, you can go ahead and fast forward this. But if you're a little bit confused, I'm going to show you again. Again, my fabric is the length that I know that I need it. My animals are facing upright. I've already found the center of my fabric, and I've put one of my pins there. So now what I'm going to do is the same thing that I did on the other side. I'm going to come to the edge on the wrong side that I don't want to show. And I'm going to put a pin here. Then I'm going to put 2 more pins between the edge pin and the center pin. So just eyeballing it. Again, if you have got a whole packet of safety pins, you don't have to be as meticulous about spreading them out as I'm being. But this is all that I had laying around the house. So here's what we've got on this side. Center pin, edge pin, and 2 pins in between. Again, you want the shiny silver side showing where the curtain's going to be seen. So now I'm going to slide this over and I'm going to repeat it. Here's my center pin. I'm going to put my edge pin here. So to the edge far enough. Now we're going to put 2 more pins in between our center pin and our edge pin. Okay, so here's what the back side of this wide piece of fabric. I want it really wide so that I have a wide curtain. Okay, so I've got a full, this is, when it's opened up, it's going to be 45 inches wide. So I got 2 panels that are 45 inches wide. I just told the lady at Walmart to cut me 2 2-yard pieces for my window. So again, I'm going to thread this on my curtain rod. Remember what I told you? We want the pretty end to the inside so that when we open our curtain, this is what you're going to see. This needs to be to the outside of your window. So when I put this piece on, I've got this edge. I don't want this to be in the center, okay? Well, actually, it's going to have to be on this one. We'll cut it off in a minute. So thread it on the curtain rod. Let me change the camera view and we'll put this up together. Okay, so I've got company coming tomorrow and I don't have the curtain rod that I need, so I've just put a screw in up here so that it will hold this one in place. So I'm going to climb up and put this up. I'll spread this out. So there is my curtains hung just as it is, without me doing anything to it. So what I'm going to do is if I want to hide this selvage edge, I'm just going to get my hot glue gun. Or if you've got safety pins left, you can safety pin them around. I'm actually going to grab my hot glue gun and do it just like that. My edges are still raw. You'll see their edge like this. If you want to make it have more of a rustic look, you can just pull the edges like this of the fabric and it will have a little fringe look. If you don't like that, you can just fold it under and hot glue it and leave it as is. So I'm going to go ahead and hot glue this seam and I'll be back in just a minute and we'll finish up our curtains. Okay, I decided I'm not going to hot glue this or sew it in case you're somebody who doesn't have a sewing machine or a hot glue gun, and we're just going to roll with it and we're going to work with what we've got. So first of all, if you are a homeowner, you can either use, we're going to tie the edges back, so you could either use a cup hook. I don't have a cup hook, so I'm actually just going to use just a thumb, what do you call those things? Push pin. You know what I'm talking about. And this is just some extra garland that I had left over at my house. And I'm just going to put this around the edge. Be a pullback. And I'm just going to stick this push pin into the wall. It will not go through the wire, so I'm just catching some of the greenery here. So I want to leave this kind of loose, but not too loose, because we want for that to be able to fold back. And just keep twisting it until this turns in the way that you want it to. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. This is just a piece of greenery that I have, and this is just a thumbtack, or a push pin. Okay, we'll wait for this to kind of be the same way on this side. And this has got the selvage edge on it, so I'm just going to turn it back a little bit as well. Good thing about working with garland is it's moldable, so that you can bend the curtain how you want it to. Pushing that push pin in there, it's hid underneath the garland. If you are a renter and you can't put holes in the wall, you can use command strips. So we got that. Now for the top, I told you, you really can't see them, the safety pins, but I just don't like it, so we're going to change that up a little bit. I am going to go ahead and put on my homemade bows right here. I have got a video on how you make these really cool bows. Super, super easy, so I'm just going to put those on. Give it a twist, hold it in place. Okay, so now I'm going to take my ornament that I picked up. This is a Dollar Tree ornament, and I'm going to hook a safety pin in it. Be careful climbing up. And I want for these two curtains to go together so that that edge is covered up. Tell you what we're going to do. Don't put your ornament on yet. You're going to stick it through the back side layer, then the front layer, so that the pin is sticking out, and then I'm going to slip my ornament on, and I'm going to stick it back into the fabric to fasten it. Don't poke yourself. Okay, and this is just ornaments that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to hang some of these along the top to match with my other ornament. Of course, I don't want to come out with this too. So everywhere that I have got one of those safety pins that I can see, I'm going to stick one of these ornaments on. So I've got my ornament hook that hangs on a Christmas tree. I'm just going to hook this on here. This is going over top of the curtain rod. Y'all, seriously. Any other time when I open this tube, y'all know they would be falling out all over the floor. Look, for real, Christmas packaging is the worst. And I know all of y'all's tree ornament hangers look just like that. It's a rat's nest, as my son says. A couple more of these. And there you go. Looks cute enough. No sew. Super easy window treatment.